Concentration 64. Category is.
Hello, welcome to Vlogmas Day 2, and this is the Life and Process podcast. We're going to talk about friendships. The holidays are a really hard time for almost everybody. I think it's really uncommon to feel safe around these times, and most people don't have a healthy family to go back to. A lot of people don't have family to go back to. A lot of people are also suffering from food insecurity, financial debt, a lot of things. During the holidays, it can be really hard to be around family, and this is the perfect time to lean on your friends. I am so grateful for all the female friendships that I have. I have some great female friends, and I always feel like really inspired and empowered and just safe when I'm with them. I went to a girls' giving recently, and that was amazing. I'm hanging out with one of my friends this week, another friend next week. I feel like I have so many wonderful women in my life that rotate throughout the season and show up more than they have before, and then some take breaks because life gets in the way. There are people who have amazing friends but can't necessarily get away for the holidays. And I want to talk about boundaries, especially boundaries in certain cultures, because I think whilst boundaries and setting them and wanting to be safe is a valid and real thing, boundaries don't actually exist in every culture. Boundaries do not exist in Caribbean culture, Black culture, Asian culture, Muslim culture. A lot of cultures that are very strong, that have a lot of emphasis on family orientation, that have a lot of emphasis on tradition. And honestly, a lot of these cultures also have a bad habit of living vicariously through their kids. A lot of immigrant families suffer from that as well. I think growing up a Caribbean, boundaries definitely don't exist. Like you actually can't sit down with your parents and be like, "Hey, you did this thing I didn't like and I'd appreciate it if maybe we didn't have to go through that again." That doesn't fucking exist. Conversations like that are absolutely foreign. There is no open forum of communication. There is no type of accountability. That doesn't exist. So, ways that I coped when I was in a family that did not respect boundaries or just made me uncomfortable during the holiday times, and I really just wanted to be alone for various reasons, was honestly taking that space. I became kind of like the loner kid who did whatever they wanted and stayed in their room and yada, yada, yada. But it was helpful. It's definitely a version of protecting your peace, is when you love your solitude more than you love other people. I think another thing that's helpful is finding, and there are so many memes about it. It's like your favorite cousin when they come over and you guys get to talk trash about everybody, or the Thanksgiving clapbacks, or, the Christmas takedowns. I think it's really helpful to at least have a couple of people in your family that you can depend on. And it doesn't mean that you have to be extremely vulnerable with them, but people who are safe for you to be around while you're in these spaces with everyone. This next point might be extremely cliche, but you honestly have to realize that you're not alone. One of the biggest human flaws is thinking that we are individuals to the end. Like, you were born alone, so you're going to die alone. Yeah, that might be true, but a lot of people don't die alone, and a lot of people aren't born alone, and a lot of people die surrounded by loved ones, and a lot of people don't. I think the point I'm trying to make is community is essential and it's vital for the human experience, and everything that you're going through, have gone through, and will go through, there are a million other people who have experienced it in their own way that relate to yours. There are a million people who have gone through things that you have yet to go through that are inevitable. We're not as individual as we like to believe, and I think that's a huge disconnect. You're not alone during these times. You're not the first person to feel like it's not safe to come out to your parents, or it's not safe to voice that you want to be respected, or to voice that you don't want to go to school, or to voice that you have a new partner, or to voice that you want to move out. Millions of people have been through this. Find a community that resonates with you, vent to them, heal your mind, heal your body, and move on. And obviously, that is easier said than done. A lot of people are also going no contact during this holiday season. I know this might be the first holiday season that people are no contact. For me personally, I want to say I'm no contact with a couple of people, and it's been over 4 years. And I'm totally cool with it. Like, But there are times that I think about, like, okay, what if this person passes away soon and I don't get to talk to them and I don't get to say goodbye? And I've come to the point where I'm honestly okay with that. And it is what it is. People don't get to treat you like crap for a good chunk of your life and demand that you treat them well for the end of theirs. That's just not how it works. All of that was about leaning on your friends and being safe for yourself. But I want to talk about when friendships end, because your friends a lot of times can be your chosen family, and they're the people that you choose to spend the rest of your life with. They're the people that you, in your head, like, you make up aunts and uncles for your future kids. You make up your friends to be your godparents to your kids when you want to get there, your bridesmaids, your groomsmen. A lot of these big life events, you're leaning on your friends. I don't think we talk enough about when friendships end, at least female friendships. I think that when you lose a friend that you love with all your heart, it is more detrimental than a breakup with a significant other. Think about friends that I've lost all the time. And sometimes when I look at old pictures, I feel really emotional because it feels like I lived a different life and I don't get that version back, or the people back, or the circumstances, or the happiness that was there. And so it's really hard when you want to reach out to people and see how they're doing, but the chapter is just closed. I've been dealing with that a lot lately. Is thinking about old friends that I absolutely love that I can't reach out to, that I can't talk to, or it's just time to stop. A couple of things that have kept me above water on that subject is just remembering that everybody who leaves your life isn't a villain, and vice versa. Every time you leave somebody's life, you're also not a villain. And I try to remind myself that you cannot hold on to all the good people in the world. And so it's okay to meet good people and to love good people and to let them go and wish them the best from a distance, because that's all you can do. Friendship breakups are hard and they're extremely emotional, and they stick with you forever, honestly. This time of the year is also extremely hard for me because we are coming up on the anniversary of my siblings passing, and oof, grief is a bitch. I don't even feel sad on the monumental days, birthdays and anniversaries and death days. Like, sometimes I don't feel anything on those days, but it's like a random fucking Tuesday and my chest caves in. Grief literally hits you wherever you're at. I don't know that if I've talked about this, but we buried my brother on a Saturday, and for a straight year, Saturdays were the worst day for me, and I couldn't figure it out why. I couldn't figure it out until I remembered he was buried on a Saturday. I remember coming home from work. This is when I was a kindergarten teacher, on Friday, and being so excited that it's Friday. I don't have to go back to work. I worked an hour away. I was done with driving. Like, it's my time. And I just had the best Fridays, whether I was resting or going out. And then Saturday, I would feel this dread come over me, and it was hard to get out of bed. It was hard to brush my teeth. It was hard to shower. It was just insanely hard to fucking breathe and move at the same time. I had to be doing one or the other. I couldn't be moving and breathing at the same time, so I had to pick one. Either I move and I don't breathe, or I breathe and I sit still. And it was every Saturday, and it pissed me off because I'm like, Saturdays are like the day. That is the day out of the weekend where you actually get to live it up, because you don't have to wake up early the next day and you get to go to sleep late the day before. Like, that's the best time. That's when you go out. And I couldn't manage to do anything on Saturdays. I couldn't manage to be productive. I couldn't manage to feed myself. The dread was so deep. I was paralyzed every single Saturday for an entire fucking year. And then when Sunday rolled around, all of a sudden I had all the energy. It was like the weight lifted off of me. I was ready to do things, but it was the day before Monday. A lot of people didn't want to go out. I had work. I couldn't stay up late. And I was like, why the fuck am I so depressed on Saturdays and have so much energy on Sundays? It's not fair. And then I realized, oh shit. And it took me forever to realize we buried him on a Saturday. And ever since then, Saturdays have been extremely hard for me. In situations like that, I just remind myself that grief is the price we pay for love. And it just means I love my brother a lot, and I'm willing to pay that price. And I think the same stands for friendships that end when you want something to last forever and when you plan for forever and you only get 3 months, or you only get a year, or you only get 7 months with someone that you absolutely love and you plan your life around. Friendships are extremely vital for me, and they are my chosen family. So when friendships end, or they shift, or they fade, I get really sad. And I just remind myself that grief is the price I pay for love. And you're going to have to pay it every time because you're always going to lose somebody. You can't keep everybody. And even if you could, you might just end up losing yourself. If it hurts, it means you did it right. Anyway, this has been Vlogmas Day 2. I hope some of this helped. If it didn't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a girl with a mic taped to a flower. You know what I mean? I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Life in Process. Am I lying? Because why is my voice cracking? I'm doing great. Yeah.